Hey guys, hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Kshitij, aka the Rustic Wanderer, and this is another episode in my All Island travel series. So today's plan is to go outside and explore the Mariehamn area a bit, but first we're gonna have breakfast. So let's get started. This behind me, the two rooms, one of them is a sauna, one of them is a laundry room, because if you know the Finnish culture, it's very common for them to do the sauna and then take a dip in the cold water. So the sauna rental is about 20 euros per hour and it belongs to the same owner. All of these red cottages also belong to the same owner. So I grabbed my coffee after a nice breakfast with a view, and I decided to come by the water and enjoy it here. Also, the owner told me that the depth of the water here is not too much. The maximum that it goes is about 2 meters. But this side of the Baltics is very common for the divers. They have a lot of wrecks here. One of the wrecks was actually a Pommern Ship that is actually now outside the Maritime museum. I'll go visit it at some point. And there are a lot of other interesting wrecks here. So actually yesterday I saw a couple of dive suits hanging outside some of these cottages on my way back, which was interesting. I've never seen dive suits from up close before. But yeah, let's enjoy coffee with nice sound of the waves. So done with coffee and I started venturing around. As you can see behind me, those are the camper vans, some big, some small. So this is the camping ground that I walked past while visiting my accommodation for the first time in one of the previous episodes. It's a pretty nice view. They have direct access to the sea as well. They have charging stations here. Some people have even extended the tarp and they have like a proper campsite set up. Some have pitched a tent. Most of them even have bikes to go to the center, grab some groceries and supplies so they can cook here. It's a pretty relaxing place. The grass is lush green. As you can see, everything is like nice and very eco-friendly here. And the waves are also really amazing. I spent some time here yesterday, but it started raining a bit heavily, so I didn't vlog much. But views from here are nice. You can see. This is the beach, direct access to water. And then this, I think, is a repair yard or a garage of some sort for the vessels. You can see most of them are like parked here, some covered, probably for some maintenance or while they are not being used. But this is just like 100 meters or less from my accommodation. It's just right here. This is the camping ground. Really amazing. And let's keep walking and see what else there is around the neighborhood. And this is like a mini beach with beach volleyball, paddock for getting into the water, some swings for kids to play, beach sand. Pretty sure if I walk around for another 50 meters I'll end up at a sauna. Finnish way of life. But this is nice. I think the water isn't deep enough yet, so all of these paddocks that give you access to the water, they all have these no diving kind of warnings. Maybe the water isn't deep enough, so it's dangerous to dive, but it's nice you have multiple access points to get into the water. Although it's not raining today, but the wind is still a little bit cold. Hopefully in the next few days while I'm still here, at least one of the days must be a nice weather so I could take a dip in the sea. This side of Baltic Sea is a little bit cleaner than the one you find in Helsinki area, for example, or even up north. northwards. Oulu is not technically north, but northwards. That's like very brown water with a lot of strong algae smell, so I don't feel like swimming in there too much. But oh yeah, I was right. That building there, that's a sauna, so I guess it's for these people who stay here for a camp. They have sauna there, and they go in for a swim there. And oh, we have geese here, so let's walk away. These guys are not afraid of anyone. Yes, I'm going away. That's the sauna. So I just stumbled upon this board. Looks like this is a nature preserve, that's why it's so well maintained and so lush green. It does look like there is a cannon here, an oldest building in town also. So let's see, the cannon is supposed to be here. This is gonna be interesting. Let's see if I can find it. Ah, okay, it's right there where the group of women is standing. So this is a siege cannon used by Tsar Alexander, 3500 kgs, it's pretty heavy. And that's the cannon, looks straight out to the sea. Still pretty well maintained. Oh, that's an interesting perspective. You want to blow people's mind? Oh, that sounds wrong. With a cannon on your head. So now we are approaching Lilla Holmen. This is a children's excursion island, and it's very well preserved. As you can see, there are like ponds, lots of birds, and those cottage-like things. So let's try and get in. There's a marina too. This marina reminds me of a mini Singapore-like feels. Normally running around a marina like this on a not so hot and humid day is quite refreshing. It's like sea breeze freshens you up. And of course, by the seaside you have free access to seagulls. All of this noise that you're hearing. There's tiny cottages in the middle of the island. They look really nice. So many seagulls. You guys want to be in my vlog? No? No? Okay. So that way is the, again, some sort of like a swimming spot with a mini beach. This is nice, a self-balancing rock in the middle of nowhere. This reminds me of Krishna's butter bowl when I was exploring South India with my father. It's a misnomer. It has nothing to do with Lord Krishna, neither have to do with butter ball. But it was like a giant ball-like stone that was self-balancing. And sometimes there were debates of actually removing it for it being a risk to people that were visiting the site, but then it was kept as it is. This looks like, yeah, it's just happily standing. But the seagulls, I haven't spared that too as well. They've destroyed it a bit. And let's see what else there is around. I'm really curious about these cottage-like things, what those are. Okay, so this looks like some sort of storage, or I don't know, but not for us. This looks like something that we could visit, so let's check it out. Looks like there are some budgies and birds inside. Open every day from 10 to 3. There's tortoise, happily sunbathing, and then there are lovebirds, so many of them, parakeets. Oh look, there's a couple too. Yeah, that tortoise is hiding in its cabin. Yeah, that was fun. At some point we used to own about 11 or 13 of these mix of budgies, parakeets and cockatoos. We used to play around quite a lot. It brings back a lot of fun memories. They even have tortoise here, which is interesting. It was like sunbathing under their heat lamp. We have a giant rabbit couple. Hello sir. This one looks really cute with floppy ears. The grey one is having breakfast. I think he's eating some apples. And then the kids are having a picnic. Hello. They all are too busy eating. That's fun. These nice little cottages have some animals for children to kind of see them from a distance within their own area, so you're not allowed to touch them or something like that, but still it's very refreshing. Lots of bunnies, birds, fresh air. So I guess kids are happy. I saw some of the kids were like calling their mom and showing them what animals they spotted. That was fun. So I was trying to read up about this stone. I got really curious. What's the story behind this and why is it standing in the middle of nowhere? Turns out it's not just an arbitrary stone. During the Ice Age, when they used to make prehistoric tombs with boulders like these, this stone originated in Åland Islands in Mariehamn, but it ended up in the Drenthe province of the Netherlands. And one of the Dutch artists actually found out and pinpointed the origin of the stone, the boulder. And he started off as a joke that the stone is bored in the Netherlands and it wants to go back home, which is here in Mariehamn. And eventually, through crowdfunding and after getting the paperwork done, he actually managed to pull this through. Stone was loaded on the trailer and it finally came up here. So this boulder is back where it belongs. That's interesting. Didn't know about this. And I've never heard of a story of a boulder managing to go back home. That was fun. See that couple walking behind me? That was a very funny story. So the gate of this Lilla Holmen is a bit tricky. Most of the people, except for the locals, they struggle to figure out how the hell does it open. And this guy walked up and he opened the door. And I was waiting patiently because I was exiting, they were entering. So he pointed to me so I could go first. And his girlfriend immediately walked inside, so that was a very funny fail. And I told him like, yeah, you tried, it didn't work, and we both laughed out loud. That was so funny. So much for giving the right of way. Okay, so I'm here. The plan is to go here to see the Parliament House, then the Town Hall, and check out the oldest houses of Mariehamn on this street, and then we continue. So that's the Parliament building of Åland Islands, as Mariehamn is the capital. So the government and the Parliament House, these are their offices. Nice and simple, but quite a interesting complex. It's a weekend, so there is of course nobody here. It gives me the opportunity to have a nice walk without obstruction from all the cars and the parking that would have otherwise been here. Okay, so this makes more sense. Now we are in the front side. I think that was the back side, so there was only parking area there. Yeah, that's right. This is the front side. It's way better and has such lush greenery, nice views. I wish there was a little bit more sunshine so the view would have been more clearer, but at least it's not raining. So that's the best we can get. So they have a couple of buildings. That's the main entrance. A nice roundabout. I guess that's for drop-off area. One office building there, one here. Can't really understand what that says, but I guess some different departments. And on the flags it says Åland 100. So I'm guessing Åland is 100 years old or something like that. So it's the 100th anniversary, I suppose. Just guessing. But also right across the street that way from the Parliament House. Up on the hillock is the town hall, so let's go check that out. So this building behind me is the town hall. That's the flag of Holland, and that's the route to get here. Nice little climb, couple of steps, water fountain there which you saw in the cinematics, nice lush greenery all around. Must be fun to work here and take a coffee break in the afternoon. It's really relaxing around here. So that's the town hall, and right across on this street are all these kind of rustic looking houses, the oldest kind of design in Holland. That's pretty cool. There's this one here, there's more along the streets. Might be some mix of modern ones, but mostly these are supposed to be the old rustic designs. So pretty interesting architecture. They seem to be on a raised pedestal there, couple of steps to climb up, and then that's the house, and then there is a big backyard and green area around it. Probably some people have also put up some swings for their children, but I really like this kind of cottage-like feel in the city. And here's another one. Lots of different architectures to choose from. So if you want to come here, you're looking for the street name Sodragatan, which is directly opposite the town hall. So you go to town hall first, which is very easy to find. Then you just walk along the street that kind of spills out from the town hall. So it's very easy to spot this. This looks even older. So cool. And there are lots of birds chirping in this neighborhood. Wow, this house is even cooler. At the entrance it says 1896, so must be really old and rustic design. Then there is the University of Applied Sciences. Looks like a nice campus, bit small, but perhaps enough for the student population here. Some remnants of the sakura tree before even they disappear. I just saw two young deers cross the road, but they were too quick to run, so I couldn't capture them. Anyways, this is one of the oldest houses that I found, built in 1860s. Seems to be closed, the doors are not open, but the main entrance was. Called Overnasstugan. I wonder if the color is captured properly. Okay, that should be better. Can't read much of Swedish, but it says 1861, and this is one of the oldest houses in town, so it's now preserved more like a museum. And I like how they use this reddish color all across the properties here. It looks really amazing. So this is how it looks like from the front. This is the entry gate. Probably on the weekdays they open these doors so you could go inside and take a look, but on the weekend seems to be closed. So for the moment I'm thinking of going back to the hostel. Well, it's a summer cottage, holiday cottage, so let's call it a holiday cottage. So going back to the cottage to charge the GoPro batteries, and in the meantime also speak to the owner. There seems to be a stone labyrinth here which I couldn't find by myself, so I'll ask him for some tips how to find it. He had a map at the reception, so I'll ask him again how to get there and how much time does it take. And after that, there is this Åland Granskar Spring Festival. Today is the last day for it, and it runs from 11 to 3, I guess. It's already 11:40. So depending on whether I do the labyrinth first or try to get to the Spring Fest first, we'll see what happens in which order. So while the camera is charging, I'll go to the reception, get some pointers how to do those things and in which order. So back in my room, turns out that the cave route that I was looking for, or the labyrinth that they have here at the reception, is about 30 kilometers north of here. So it wasn't the one that I was trying to find in the garden. And the Spring Festival is like kind of different sites all around the main landmass, and most of them are like 15-20 kilometers away from here, except for one or two small ones that are at the East Harbor. So not sure if I'm gonna be able to get majority of the access to the Spring Fest. But anyways, while the battery is charging, I'm trying to study the geography and gonna rent some bike in a couple of days from now, and trying to see which all places I can bike around, what all I can see, to kind of make a plan of exploring beyond Mariehamn and see what else there is on the Åland Islands. Okay, so done resting, recharged the battery partially, and the weather looked okay, little bit bright, not so gloomy. So decided to venture out, headed out to the Maritime Museum and the Pommern for today, taking it nice and easy, just exploring locally around the city center, and saw this mini hiking trail. So decided to venture out a bit. Oh, looks like splitting up. So maybe let's go this way first. So yeah, just gonna do a mini hike just to warm up a bit, and then continue onwards towards the harbor side and explore the Pommern and the museum, see what they have. That's interesting. Looks like a windmill, kind of like the Zaanschans in the Netherlands. Let's see, let's try to get close and get a look of what that is. But I really like the natural look of this. No wonder there was, like, I saw 2 deer running along the way. It's all natural. Some notice from the Rotary Club, but it's all in Swedish. Let's try to take a look from the front side. Oh, looks cool. Whatever this is supposed to be. Not sure about the significance of the structure, but at least it's nice. Wonder what's on the other side on the Y path that we saw along the way. Just explore that a bit as well, and then continue forward. Well, wasn't anything special, just nature. So let's continue onwards. Was a slight detour, but let's continue onwards to the... It's actually the same harbor where we docked when we came here. Close to that, on the way in when the ship was docking, I saw the Pommern already. So it's just that way, another about 2 kilometers from the holiday cottage. One of the old rustic Mercedes fire trucks. I saw a couple of those already ever since I've been here. Never got the chance to include them in the vlog. This one's just parked here. So also this house has a sakura tree inside, so I was just capturing that, and then I saw this truck on the corner, so thought of including. So this is the same ferry that I used to get here. You remember seeing that logo up there, and that sun deck is where I was capturing most of my footage from. I think it just got here and they are undocking. So that's where I came out from. You see those yellow squares? I think those are some sort of suction grippers or some sort of protection to prevent the cruise ship from banging into the harbor. And from back that end is where I saw the buses and trucks were loading. Now they're closing the gate, so I think it's ready to leave. From here, this is a transit point. From here it goes all the way to Stockholm and then does a return route, goes to Helsinki or Turku depending on the route you choose. But this was the company that I chose. That's the sun deck with the sunshades and stuff. That's where I was sitting in the early times, and then see those couple of people up at the top near the logo. That's where I was, I think, on this side and on the other side. And that's where they have the flags and the captain's deck and where it says Galaxy. So that's as far as you can go as a civilian on board. After that it's only crew access. And then they have these kind of like bridges like the airport, so you don't ever get to walk around because there are cars and buses and vehicles that load, so for safety reasons. So we are here, somewhere here should be the Pommern, so let's try to look for, oh, I guess it's that one. I see the wooden mast, but let me double check. Found this nice little souvenir shop along the way, and there's a Nat Geo Explorer vessel here that's still tomorrow 7 I think is it's gonna stay here. They're exploring the island, and yes, the ship behind that is the Pommern where we are headed. So let's keep walking. Also, as you saw, there are lots of apple juice bottles and apple produce. Apple is one of the most prominent produce of this region, so it's very popular. That's why I keep stumbling upon apple stuff everywhere. Okay, so behind me is the Maritime Museum, where you get a joint ticket for the museum and the Pommern. The museum is open until 4 p.m. and you have to get on board the Pommern by 3 p.m. so 1 hour prior to closing time. And there's a connecting bridge that brings you, and that's the Pommern. So the staff suggested that I should explore the Pommern first and then come back to the museum, and it's just 2 p.m. so I have enough time for doing them both. The ticket costs 15 euros, and if you're a student it costs you 10 euros, so it's pretty economical. So hello from on board the Pommern. As soon as you enter, your tickets are checked and you get an audio guide, which is what I'm wearing. It's fully automated. It's given in English, Finnish and Swedish, and you're given a route map. So if you take the audio guide, you have to follow the map so that you can correlate with the story. But if you don't, you can walk around any way as you please. So I'm just gonna listen to the story and walk around a bit and take some cinematic shots. So that was a really fun experience exploring the three decks of the Pommern, and the audio guide made it a very sort of immersive experience. So this ship has been preserved as is since the day it left its dock in Scotland in 1903 actually, and it has done the world tour. So from Mariehamn, Holland, all the way to Victoria, Australia, and then back. And it has carried different supplies, and it was built in 1903 and can carry a crew of size 26 people. And now it is docked here in Holland and right next to the Maritime Museum. So most of the visitors come here and try and experience the life at the sea from that time. And this is a one-of-a-kind ship, so it's a worthwhile experience. You can spend maybe half an hour, 45 minutes. And sometimes they also have these nice speakers, as you can hear the sound of rowing and stuff. So it gives you a immersive experience that way as well. All right, now I'm gonna go out and then try and check what's inside the museum. Alright, so finally the sun is out, so I hope I got some nice clips on board the Pommern. Now just walking around the Maritime Museum, I'm just interested in these kind of things, so just gonna check it out. In the meantime, with this, I think we captured enough of Mariehamn and the nearby areas, so closing the vlog here. But stay tuned for the upcoming episodes, because now I'm gonna start venturing outwards of Mariehamn and exploring the other parts of Holland. Some offbeat. Most people usually don't know or don't have time to go there. They try to do a quick stopover from here and then they think that's all about Holland. So the idea would be to start exploring those venues. So subscribe, like and share if you haven't already. And this is Rustic Wanderer signing off, and I'll see you in the next episode.